It's not only me that haunts the old Piccadilly corner shop here, you know. This building itself dates back to just 1927, but the original Fortnum and Masons of this exact site was founded in 1707. It's unsurprising then that a few ghostly stories have accumulated through those centuries. Today, I'll introduce you to Fortnum's special spectres, the friendly and the fiendish. Hello there, ghosts and ghouls. Welcome back to Spooktober in London with me, the Hallow-Queenie, the weird witch of the West. I hope you're all doing really well. Thank you for joining me here outside Fortnum and Mason's. Today it's Fortnum's who will be bringing you the treats and I'll be bringing the tricks. So if you have time for some devilishly delicious Halloween goodies, if you have time for some boo-tifully decorated autumnal windows, and if you have time for a good old ghoulish ghost story, then just you keep on watching. Let's enter, shall we, fiendish friends, foolish mortals, Halloween. I'm here at our first stand. It's right by the door. Feast your eyes, or as Fortnum say, sink your fangs in, get ready to. But I'm so excited about these. Let me get you one up. This divine wicked wicker hamper is a cauldron shape, and as you can see there's a little bag in there, and inside you get 5 treats. I think this is £85. I'm going to put it down. There's a few here for us, but if I just show you the table, you'll get an idea of what's inside. First of all, you get a little box of these little chocolate skulls. You also get a little box of these little orange marzipan pumpkins. You also get, which I'm really excited about, let me pick one up. Listen to the sound of this, the butterscotch popcorn. Things that go pop. Wow, so cool. I've not tried this one. I think it's new for this year, so that's really good to have inside the hamper. You also get a little box of these gruesome toothsome treats. I've had those, they're very Moorish. And you also get a little box of chocolate witch's frogs, which is not on this stand, but we have some other treats to explore, so that gives you an idea of what's in that particular. So tempting little Fortnum's cauldron. I literally love it. These gorgeous little woodland truffles are $19.99 and they're peanut butter milk chocolate flavored. How yummy do they sound? I love what Fortnum's write on the packaging. Look, well worth scribbling away. And we've got more Fortnum's fiendish treats here. Look at him. The Fortnum's traditional, he is a part of the collection every single year. He's £35. Look at the detail on him, his little warts. I love that he's low down in this cloche here for us to have a look at this year. I think he's just he's too good to eat. Look how beautiful he is, and he comes in like a little box. What you'd use when you were little, when you caught a frog. I love him, look at them eyes. Here are our gorgeous little Fortnum's coffins. Aren't they elegant? They are milk chocolate and they're filled with white chocolate bones. I've got my little finger bones, holding one here. I just think they're wonderful, and you could use them in your Halloween decor for years to come. They're lovely quality. These chandeliers in Fortnum's, especially at this time of the year, remind me of the Haunted Mansion, and the work going on behind the cladding there for the atrium, which will hopefully be open soon. Kind of a lot of banging going on, things that go bump at 4:30. Ghosts and ghouls, I found us a whole other selection here to have a look at. Look at these. I think these are new for this year. The beautiful ghosty iced biscuits. Aren't they fun? Here they are in their packaging. This is what the packaging looks like. Beautiful traditional Fortnum's Ice biscuit themed. 20. I would not mind giving these a try. The autumnal tea cakes. You get a milk chocolate bonfire one, flavoured one in there. A white chocolate with pecan as well. Different varieties. Those are $17.95. I really can't stop thinking about the apple and cinnamon flavoured one. You can also have a lovely box of toffee apple fudge. So perfect for sitting and watching the fireworks on November 5th. I've got another little display case here, so you can have a little look at the ghoulish goodies. I love the coffin. Look how the bones look in there. I think that's the toffee apple fudge. And then, are they the skulls in the little gorgeous little bowl at the back? They might actually be those autumnal truffles. So tasty. Stop looking at me, little toad. Those there that always remind me of like tree bark. You'd find the bottom of a skeletal autumn tree that shed its leaves. Those little chocolate bites, and they've got ginger and whiskey. How warming. I've just been reading the little sign here for these new little pumpkin marzipans, and they've been made by a little family run business in East Yorkshire using really old techniques. So of course we love that on Queenie of London, and they contain no artificial colours. How lovely do they sound? Perfect with a cup of tea indeed, Fortnum's. The whole box. Okay, did they create these while I was on about the bark over there? These are autumnal milk chocolate novelties, and they actually say enchanted forest. There's a little list of the other kinds of iced biscuits, and we've got another little display cloche here showing some of them here. Look at that little potion bottle, isn't that amazing? And then in the little box here is the big long box of the different kinds. £10 for these toffee apple shortbreads. These are actually handmade in Edinburgh, so proper Scottish shortbread here, and they sound absolutely delicious. I bet that toffee proper melts when you dunk it into your cuppa, and I bet they're really buttery too. You can also have some toffee apple tea bags. Wow. These little goodies here are $11.95, and they're maple, pecan and orange flavoured. They look very crumbly. Festive friends, if they are any amongst you, ghosts and ghouls today. Look at the little tin they've done for the gold chocolate Fortnum coins. It's even got a little hole so you can refill it with all the goodies in there. Oh! Look how Fortnum's have displayed these little wicked wicker cauldron hampers. They've got all these like details around the edges telling you about the other biscuits, which I'm going to show you. And then they've put one in the display cabinet up here. So these ones here are the Lucifer biscuits, and just look at the wonderful description Fortnum have written here. Look, this surprising biscuit does many things that a biscuit shouldn't. Wow, it's got like a chili inside. And the other tin that Fortnum's are showcasing for Halloween and autumn is this one, the dark chocolate and macadamia nut biscuits. And here's the description. It talks about how the loyal fan base adore this particular tin. I've not tried them myself. I should. I'm just up here enjoying a little mezzanine moment down in the food hall, and I found a cloche of the tea cakes. Look at the colour of the bottom ones. Oh, I so want to try these ones. And we've also got these little familiar ones here. These lifts are always so busy. It's really eerie when you're in one alone, especially when you're making a video about ghosts. Over the red carpet of the Duke Street staircase, many hundreds of feet tread daily. The old boards beneath the plush pile creak and the polished wooden banisters gleam. But amongst the bustling visitors, overladen with Autumnal shopping bags, gracefully floats the Grey Lady. Silent and forlorn, this Victorian figure is said to be that of Anne Fortnum, the great-great-niece of founder William. She wears a long crinoline dress and never reaches out to communicate with the living. She is haunted by the death of her one and only true love, a soldier who died in the Napoleonic Wars. Anne Fortnum is buried in Highgate Cemetery, but since her death in the apartment above the shop in 1847, she has never rested and exists in a state of perpetual mourning for her lost love. Perhaps a hot, strong cup of Countess Grey tea might soothe her. Once upon a time, way back when, these stairs were only allowed to be used by men. We are a stone's throw from the gentlemen's clubs of Pall Mall and everything a gent could ever dream on Jermyn Street. It appears that one of these fashionable, well-dressed dandies hasn't been able to give up the ghost of some lost wine and cigars, and so too haunts, whilst looking dapper, on these stairs. Deep in the subterranean depths below the shop floor is the ancient and original wine cellar. It's full of antique furniture and long matured bottles. Amongst the atmosphere of the ages roams the spirit of Mr. Gaius Backholder, a grocery manager for over 50 years. This poltergeist of the wine cellar still seeks to serve with a rod of iron. He's been known to throw old glass bottles from their old shelves, and Fortnums are rather fond of Mr. B. They insist he's attempting to uphold standards of replenishment into 2025. You can hire the haunted cellar for private dinners if any of you think you're brave enough to join me and the phantom of the bottle. I'm not sure I'd mind a poltergeist who has the Pinot diligently topped up at all times. Don't forget the cheese board now, Gaius. Amidst all the treats of the ground floor is where you may also experience the tricks of the pushing ghost. This phantom doesn't like the cleaning staff very much, and they really don't like being alone on the ground floor late at night because he has a tendency to push them towards the crypt. The second and third floors of Fortnum's have experienced a lot of paranormal activity. When the store was being rebuilt in the 1920s, a young workman tragically fell to his death from one of the windows on the third floor. He is reported to haunt the stockroom and is none too kind to the young employees. Whilst I've been known to haunt the third floor bookshop and its curated selection of antique-bound treasure, down on second, a somewhat spirited spectre has been doing the rounds since the 1950s. He is not afraid of being seen either, having been captured on CCTV at 3 a.m. multiple times. He likes to move things around in the night too, often leaving staff dumbfounded at why things aren't where they were the night before. One night, whilst in a particularly foul mood, he threw an expensive and very heavy glass globe. He also has a particular penchant for Fortnum soaps. I mean, don't we all? In the 1840s, there was a murder and a suicide on neighbouring Jermyn Street, and a Fortnum's ghost with a tall black hat and whiskers is said to be the malevolent spirit of a man connected with those dark events. The stove-hatted gent, as he is known, roams all over the building on the Jermyn Street side. He saves most of his resentment for men, and several security guards have quit in fear after an encounter with him. If you see him, run, but pay for your things first. So we have come out onto Piccadilly, which is looking very bleak and atmospheric for this Spooktober in London vlog. I quite like it. We're going to have a little look at Fortnum's autumn windows, and as you can see there, this year's theme is resourceful animals. These actually are created, all of the animals we're going to see in the windows, they're created from bits of Fortnum's past, like cardboard from packaging, old staff uniforms that aren't in tippity-top condition and can't be used anymore, old props. So last year's winter woodland themed Christmas windows, there'll probably be pieces of those in these, metal, and even shells from seafood from the restaurants inside. They've all been used to create the animals that we're going to see. The animals that we're going to see have been specifically chosen to celebrate their ingenuity in how they protect the planet and maintain their own individual ecosystem. So, but when you think about it, as it says there nicely for me on the sign, William Fortnum was actually doing a bit of skillful repurposing himself when he started to sell Queen Anne's unused candle wax. So, you know, gave it new life to the ladies of the court of St James's. And that was how Fortnum's began. So let's go and have a little look at these windows, shall we? Look at this majestic elephant. He's in the main feature window, the picture window near to Hatchard's, and he's by David Farrar. Festive friends, you're going to love this. He's made with old Fortnum's Christmas brochures, marketing collateral, and in-store signs. Let's zoom. I want to zoom. Oh my goodness. Oh, you can actually make out like Autumnal packaging from the pictures inside the catalogues. Oh, that's really cool. He's getting a lot of attention, rightly. Let me zoom you back out. And I want to talk to you about how elephants protect their own ecosystem. You are right under his tusks, and my little description here says their soil enriching dung, lovely, is a natural seed disperser, but there's no greater proof of an elephant's natural cleverness than their homemade sunblock, which they make from a blend of dirt and hay. Impressive. Can I just take you down? Look at his feet. Look at those feet. This is so clever. He's so substantial. Look how they've done the ears. I'm going to step back so you can get a sense of the size. There he is. Look at him. I love how they've done the trunk. So incredible that he's made entirely out of like old Fortnum's Christmas brochures. I am of course saying brochure in loving memory of darling Patricia Routledge, aka Hyacinth's Bouquet. It was so sad to learn that she had died. She was just a legend, and I think she's wonderful. These beautiful old time actors, they cannot be replaced. God love her. God bless you, Patricia. These are bowerbirds by Billy Archilios, made with marked and dented Fortnum's biscuit tins and tea caddies. Which would I explain, really, why they're so shiny. You can really see that yellow, the shine on that definitely is those biscuits, like, you know, the Lucifer biscuits we saw inside. There's a yellow version of those, and that is definitely that yellow. And they are, look at his face. This is crazy. The bowerbirds. I have never heard of a bowerbird. Let's read about them. Incredibly brainy and wonderfully creative, bowerbirds, I've got glare, sorry guys, keep their ecosystems tidy by incorporating natural and man-made materials into their bower structures, bower towers, which they build to attract potential mates. Wow, so it's like building, you know, a little bachelor pad out of his shiny things. That's a darling. That's such a clever thing. I never knew anything about these. What interesting birds. I think these ones might be my favourites, the dung beetles. Look how impressive they are. These incredible chaps are made with recycled prop materials, including paint chippings, nails, sawdust, and mouldings. So I guess like the mouldings are what are used to create the window display, maybe? Look, I love the detail on the bottom, and the detail in the legs is just incredible. These are art, aren't they? It says here, nature's greatest tidy uppers. The dung beetle's job is tough, but they're happy to do it by collecting and moving poop. They disrupt the life cycle of pesky flies that would otherwise breed in the waste. So that's really nice of them. Good job, dung beetles. You keep going. Whilst other channels are bringing you beautifully festive departments from all around London, I've bought you a dung beetle in October. Our next window is the Octopus by Michelle Reeder, and it says made with waste from our restaurants such as seafood shells and wine corks. And here he is. Look at those tentacles. You admire him, see what materials you can pick up, and I'll read you why he's here. It says, excellent problem solvers, octopuses make the most of their surroundings in many, many ways, using their habitat as camouflage against predators and using natural waste like discarded coconut shells as shelter. How wild. This is like an education, Fortnums. This is so cool. What can you pick up on? Look at the cork shell, cork shells. I've got shells on the brain. The corks there. And these are like tins to me. Like, this is so cool. I absolutely love his face. I've got little ones behind me dying to have a little look, so I'm going to move all out of the way. Wow, I literally just went, whoa. I didn't look at these windows before I went in, and this one is seriously impressive. And do you know what? It's actually made from the waste and things, just like metal materials, which has been produced as a result of the Atrium project. So he's very, very fancy, and he's got parts in him for something that we don't know anything about. So that's very special. Let me tell you a bit about the vulture, according to Fortnum's window. It says, expert scavengers with incredible sense of smell and vision, vultures are famous for finding and removing animal carcasses from their habitats in helping to reduce the risk of disease spread in the process. What a genius. I mean, who else on YouTube is going to bring you a hermit crab in October? Made with cardboard packing boxes recycled from our Piccadilly basement. Yeah, you can see that. He's so cute. Look, look at this. I'm glad you've done this in, you know, October, Fortnums, and not Christmas. You could have gone wild with this at Christmas, like, to be honest. This is amazing. I want to read about the hermit crab for you. Look at him from this angle. It says clever and sociable critters known to scavenge for their food. Hermit crabs are the natural world's most resourceful homemakers. Oh, if shells are scarce, they'll repurpose discarded materials into makeshift shells. Oh, I love that. I love coming to Fortnum's. I never not learn something. Ghosts and Ghouls, you are absolutely gonna love this guy. The Hyena by Barbara Frank, made with old Fortnum staff uniforms, damaged bags for life, and sample tea towels. This one's been made for us. You can see the Autumnal, and look on his time for tea from the tea towel. Look at the tail. Oh my gosh. You can see the red coats there, the red coat. Look at those eyes. I love that side eye. Look at him. He's incredible. I want to learn how he looks after his ecosystem. Famously zealous cleaners, so it sounds a bit like, you know, Hyacinth bouquet, of animal remains and other debris that might otherwise clutter up the ecosystem and spread disease. No leftover is too troublesome to digest. for the humble hyena.
I saw that.
Well, they were rather fun. I absolutely love the added effect of the sound coming out of each window. Really, really nice and atmospheric. And just like, you know, a bit of a sense of wonder at the natural world being created. Really, really cool, Fortnums. And so, ghosts and ghouls, I'm going to wrap this episode of Spooktober in London up here with Beau Brummel looking through the gorgeous Burlington Arcade, which I always think look pretty spooky, these arcades of London. I love the way they look, especially at this time of year with their glow and their lanterns. I think that's quite atmospheric. I really, really hope you enjoyed this little trip to Fortnum's to check out all their treats, and I hope you enjoyed the few tricks along the way too. Thank you so much for watching. Loads and loads of love from London, the Hallow-Queenie, the Weird Witch of the West. Take care. Mwah.